So I just would like to start with a couple of questions. So how many of you here believe that humans are largely responsible for climate change? Okay. And how many of you believe that we same humans can even be the drivers to reverse the change? So now I would like to talk about a couple of aspects here. One, small changes that can cumulatively have a huge impact. And two, the after effects of natural disasters due to climate change on human health. Now, talking about the first aspect, I really want to focus on a particular section of humans basis their age group. That is the millennial generation, which happens to be around the age group of 24, 25 to around 38, which forms a considerable proportion of world population and will largely face the brunt of climate change in the future, or can also be the drivers to reverse this change at large. So why specifically millennials am I talking about? It is because this particular generation is responsible taking care of their previous generation while also nurturing the next generation and shaping up world dynamics, which is extremely crucial. Now, the approach towards climate change is no different. The mindset that this particular generation has towards climate change will get cascaded down accordingly. And hence, my focus here is on the millennial generation. Now, a little something about the millennials is that they have grown up in the social media world, starting from Orkut, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. And it is largely perceived that this particular generation lacks in self-awareness. Why? Let me give you an example. Now, I personally come from a fairly decent background, never had much hiccups in life, thankfully. And I ended up doing engineering. Why? Because people around me did it. And then after some thought process, I ended up doing an MBA. Why? Because the people around me did it. And then you also have a section who have become CAs, doctors, etc. Why? Because the people around them did it. Decisions were largely influenced by the society they were in. This particular generation has been constantly compared with their peers since childhood, and this has been conditioned in the minds of this generation, which is clearly visible in social media, right? One person goes for a solo trip and the fad starts. We all see it, right? We all show how we go to expensive restaurants as a check-in on social media. My question here is, why can't we just enjoy with the person or the people we are with at that point of time? Right? Quite a few of them, even though they are earning pretty well, feel miserable because there are still EMIs to pay. Directly or indirectly, this particular generation has been told that the definition of a successful life is a good house, a good car, and a good job. But guess what? It is not ended. It always ends with having a bigger house, a bigger car, and a better job. The point I'm trying to make here is that the millennial generation forms a crucial aspect as far as climate change is concerned. And change starts from one person at a time and from within. Ask yourself, is it really necessary for you to get a bigger car, or let's say multiple cars, which ultimately ends up releasing more greenhouse gases? Is it really necessary for you to buy multiple air conditioners or other similar related appliances in the same flat or house, releasing more greenhouse gases just for that added comfort? Is it really necessary for you to get that high-end furniture from high quality wood from which deforestation happens on a massive scale, which ultimately releases more greenhouse gases? Is it really necessary for you to change your handset, your mobile phones every year, difficult to decompose, ending up in a landfill, ultimately releasing more greenhouse gases? Is it really necessary for you to not repeat a party wear just to impress your friends or family? We all know how much the fashion industry contributes towards global warming. Is it really necessary for you to get one better than your colleagues? Now, unless we change our mindset or understand what each one of us really want from our respective lives, understand our purpose, reversing climate change will be challenging. Now, to be a front runner in this process, you may start exploring more, doing things that you've never done before. Why? Because the more you explore, the more experience you have. The more experience you have, the better you understand yourself, your likes, your dislikes, what will work for you, what won't work for you. The better you understand yourself, the better decisions you can take. And the better decisions you can take, the better you'll be able to contribute towards society and hence climate change. Take examples of successful individuals like Ratan Tata, Mother Teresa, our war heroes. Everybody knew what they wanted. They were crystal clear about it. And it was never about getting one better than their colleagues. It was always about serving the larger good. And that's where it starts. Now, another reason why I'm stressing on the importance of self-awareness is because climate change, directly or indirectly, has an impact on our mental health. So much so that the term eco-anxiety has gained popularity over a period of time. A study published by American Public Health Association and Eco-America states that up to 54% of adults and 45% of children suffer from depression after a natural disaster. In 2070, 4 years after the Uttarakhand floods in India, people who survived were still in trauma or are still in trauma, having seen death up close, having lost their homes, having lost their loved ones. A person named Prahalad suffers from schizophrenia. Om Prakash drank poison a year later as his shop got washed away. He just did not know how to get back up on his feet. He had nobody to coach him, counsel him, mentor him, or guide him to get back up on his feet. Mothers have insomnia having seen their child pass away. In 2017, for over a population of 1 crore in Uttarakhand, there were just a handful of psychiatrists. The point I'm trying to make here is that the better self-awareness you have, the stronger foundation you have in getting yourself out of that particular situation. Extreme weather conditions has also been linked to causing mental health issues. We all know it, right? On a hot summer day with increased humidity, we all tend to get agitated. We may let it affect our personal or professional lives. On a hot summer day, if you're late for work and water is not flowing in your pipes, we all tend to get agitated. In January 2020, Nature Journal stated that there's an increased risk of death by suicide as temperatures warm. Now, if we talk about the indirect effects of climate change, it can cause sheer anxiety with the fact that you personally know a friend or a family member being a victim of a natural disaster due to climate. Well, the goal here is to make people aware of the mental health consequences of climate change on human health and how we as individuals can make huge changes by just taking small steps, by just being a little more self-aware, by just reducing the usage of certain appliances, or by just altering a lifestyle by a mere 10%, which can have a dramatic. Approaching a coach or a counselor to change your mindset can help. Being a part of a like-minded community and contributing positively towards that community can help. And lastly, taking positive action towards understanding yourself, your values, and living by them can help. Thank you. Thank you so much for hearing me.